Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of See Yourself Grow with Tina. For those of you who don't know me, I am Tina Collura, and I am the founder and CEO of the See Yourself Grow coaching and consulting firm. And I help people get out of their own way and into results in less than 90 days. So I want to start out by saying thank you to everyone for their beautiful comments and all your support along my journey, for helping me become one of the top 30 entrepreneurs that you should be taking inspiration from. So I had an article recently written about me in the Entrepreneurial Herald magazine. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you. But I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered how your emotions can create your reality? That is the hot topic today. And let's be honest, we are all emotional beings. And I'm here to tell you that your reality, everything you're thinking, saying, or doing, basically triggers an emotion, right? So it's important to be in touch with your emotions. It's important to acknowledge them. Don't suppress them, because they will show up in some shape or form. So what you feed your mind becomes your reality. The ideas and the thoughts that allow you to enter your mind is really what makes you who you are. So today I have the great pleasure of introducing you all and interviewing a good friend of mine, Darya Akulshyna. And Darya is a vision design and mindset coach. She's a facilitator, she's a speaker, she's a workshop author, and the woman behind the unique vision cardio methodology. So I'm so excited to hear all about that. And some also call her the dream launcher. So she works with business leaders, kick ass visionaries, and disruptive thinkers and their teams to bring their dreams of creating massive impact to life. Together, she helps them redefine the status quo of the next chapter of their business or their personal life into masterpieces of intention, creativity, joy, and impact. So, standing firmly for the greatness of each and every person that she works with, she knows that when each one activates their joy and their purpose, the ripple effects and the waves create good for the community and the environment that they are in. She invites you to ask yourself a question. So make sure you have paper and pen ready, because she's going to be giving us so much information. But the question she wants to start out with is, if you knew that you had the power to design a new normal, what future would you want for yourself and your children to be a part of? And she knows that when approached with the intention of your mind and your heart, that future is closer than you think. So Daria's multidisciplinary background allows her to skillfully combine Western and Eastern practices with the most up-to-date research to marry what she calls the magic with science. She is a nerd at heart, and I think all of us are. So she is known to demystify edgy spiritual concepts into grounded practical applications, making the experience fun and accessible to everyone that she works with. So without further ado, let me bring Darya on. Hey, Darya.
Hi, thank you so much for the introduction.
Absolutely. I want to say thank you so much for being here, because honestly, Daria, you have so much experience and so much knowledge that I'm excited to share you with my network. So I want to start out by asking you, what are your thoughts on how our emotions can create our reality?
Yes, so we are creating all the time. We're creating, manifesting, if you wish, all the time, whether we are conscious of it or not. And that's probably something your audience is already familiar with. And the way that, in a more grounded terms, the way that we're creating our reality is we have a thought. That thought creates an emotion, a feeling that comes through as a sensation in our body, and we respond to it. We either act on it, take action, or inaction. That action or inaction then creates a result. We can reverse engineer and see what was that emotion that is going to create that result. In a more esoteric terms, in more spiritual, energetic terms, every emotion is also a signature, it's an emotional signature, and it's a vibrational signature. The vibrational signature is the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
And we are vibrational beings, so we're creating with that. Now, when I talk about emotions, it's not to be, like you said, very artfully at the beginning, it's not to suppress your emotions and be afraid, oh my God, I'm having this negative emotion, I need to push it down, and positive thoughts, positive thinking. But it's to become aware and to become unconditionally present. It's a whole practice that one goes through.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it at some other time, but to become unconditionally present with our emotions. And when we can, it's an art of learning, how can I softly, gently, lovingly switch over and start paying attention to something else, start paying attention and realigning myself. And through practice, it becomes more and more accessible and more common.
Mm-hmm.
So in common practice, it's known that our thoughts create our reality, or our visualization creates our reality. And I work with vision creation with visualization. But
Mm-hmm.
really, the visualization and what I've come to know, the thoughts are like the back door, because they all create an emotion. And when we set a goal, when we want something, when we have a desire, we want it because it will make us feel a certain way. We all want things that's going to ignite a certain emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So when we work with visualizations, when we work with our thought patterns and beliefs, they will create a certain signature, a vibrational signature, and that's the key.
Mm.
That's the thing that's going to bring forth the result.
Oh, I love that. And, it's so true, Daria, because, and it really does take practice, I find, to really be a master of your emotions and your thoughts, right?
Still
So,
mastering.
still, I know it's like work. We're human beings. We're constantly a work in progress, right? So, for people who have worked with you, can you tell us about how you've helped people get in touch with their emotions if that's something that they're struggling with?
Certainly. So I do work on the emotional intelligence with folks.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the best practices that has helped me, and what I recommend to individuals, there's two separate parts. There is being in touch with the current, what is alive in my emotion, and being unconditional with it, and then being deliberate in what signature I want to create.
Mm.
So
Okay.
on the being present with the current unease, let's say, you wake up in the morning and something feels off. I have a practice. I go into a meditation practice, and as I sit in my meditation practice, I will allow my thoughts to arise and my feelings to arise, and I can process certain things that are under the current. And then take myself deliberately into the new wave of what I want to focus on, what I want to pre-plan for the day. So that's part of what I teach, but I don't teach meditation. So I have resources I will recommend to individuals, but I don't teach meditation. What I teach more is then how do we, in that morning practice, start being deliberate with what we want to create in the day. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, one of the tools, and I can talk about it later on, is very well known. It's affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
Call them affirmations, and I don't work with affirmations in the same way that traditionally perhaps they're known to be. So an affirmation in a traditional sense would be, I am strong, I am powerful, I am wealthy, I am
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
For your for your subconscious mind, for your energetic body and emotional body to receive that, if it is not true today, it's going to create further resistance, and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to create further dissonance to what you want. And
Mm-hmm.
actually,
Mm-hmm.
heavier emotion is going to arise if you're planting this affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the tools that we work with together with clients on is creating some call it a mind gym. I've called it a mind gym before, but now I like to call it like a waterfall of um, like a waterfall of emergence of statements that align you to what you want in a very gentle, opening way. So instead of saying, if you're working on your money beliefs, I am rich, I am wealthy, if that is not true today, you're opening up and making a statement more general. For example, I am ready for this. If you're manifesting a love relationship, it's I am ready for this. If you are more than ready and you're starting to see results already come in and starting to see the world respond to you in that way, like for example new clients are coming in but you're still not feeling wealthy and rich, then you make it a little bit more specific. It's getting easier and easier. These are some of the tricks of that I use. It's getting easier and easier. Your mind is talking it, it's seeing that it is getting easier, and you're revalidating for yourself, and it's landing much easier inside of you.
I love that. So, can you just repeat, what do you call that? A waterfall of.
It's a waterfall. I call it an activation waterfall. It's a waterfall of affirmative statements that um, allow you to. It's like a very nourishing breakfast for your for your emotions and for your thoughts in the morning that allow you to digest the new information, the new programming that you're activating. When it comes to any new programming, we are operating in our subconscious mind and our conscious mind. And
Mhm.
most of what we do and most of the thoughts throughout the day, which I think we have around something like 70,000 or 90,000 pass through, we're not conscious of. Our subconscious mind translates information through sensory experiences, through images and pictures, through archetypes, through emotions. And so if we want to go and speak to that and reprogram it, we have to speak its language. Using
Mhm.
willpower is only going to get us from January to April when you have a New Year resolution. You're not going to get past that date anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
So, working with our subconscious mind requires that awareness of how we do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say everything is created twice, right? Once in our mind and then twice in reality, right? So what we're programming, what we're feeding our subconscious mind, it is, and a lot of people don't know how to tap into their subconscious mind, or they think everything's predetermined, but really, like, we are conscious beings. We are the ones who are you know, reflecting what is in our subconscious mind and what's in our conscious mind, right? So I find that so fascinating.
Yes, we are reflecting, and our world is always reflecting to us. So we talk about synchronicities, and we either pay attention to them or not.
Hmm.
And what I have come to learn is that the world is always going to mirror and show me either what is currently in resistance, that I'm still resisting, that I'm still working through, or it's showing me sort of positive, affirmative reflection of me already moving through something. So
Hmm.
individuals that I meet, they're either sending me a signal. Um, let's say if it's a challenging interaction, it's sending me back a signal of what I am internally still believing, and this is my reflection, or they're sending me a signal of the new wave and the new way that I'm introducing into my life. And it's really interesting once you begin noticing these things. We do this in our practice. So when we move through any belief shifts, I then work with the client to start noticing signs from the universe.
Yeah.
And these can be very loud and very concrete, and they can be very subtle. And it's very fun to start paying attention to them and seeing what we pick up.
Yeah, yeah. I actually, so I started keeping track of the ways that, the universe is presenting itself to me, or situations where the law of attraction, has come true. Because you and I both know nothing happens by chance or coincidence. Everything happens because, of the vibration or the thoughts and the patterns that we are putting out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're being
So,
met but twice. We're being met by ourselves. So there's an aspect of trusting ourselves, what we're putting out, and then we're being met by this greater force that is around us that's constantly working with us.
yeah.
So being in a this is something I think everyone learns at some point, and something I'm moving through and learning today. Believing that I am creator of everything is also can also pose a challenge, or it has in my experience, because then yes, I am manifesting my reality, but there's an aspect of surrender to know that there's a greater force and timing and greater purpose, and I will not always be in. I just don't have the greater intelligence to be able to optimize this optimization problem. I used to play,
Yeah.
and for the longest time, I thought I could optimize and calculate
Mm,
all of the scenarios in my life, which led me to want to be very control oriented in how things have to happen. And
yeah.
the act of co-creation with a greater force is the complete opposite of that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the law of allowing, right? Allowing things to happen, right? Allowing yourself to trust in the process, allowing for others to be where they are, and for things to show up as you need them, right? And
Yes.
so it's so
So
cool.
that is a great actual segue into the two pitfalls, or two acts of letting go that we need to keep in mind when we are creating, when we are manifesting, when we are visualizing, whichever angle you want to take. Is the first is letting go of how it will happen.
Mhm.
So identifying possibilities of how it will happen is can actually be beneficial, because it can expand our field of what's possible. However, getting stuck on how it has to happen is getting ourselves into the grip. Think of like that little child that's gripping into the toy and it has to be this way. The more we're gripping, the more we're not seeing another pathway open up. So we have to let go of the how. And I've had many examples where I was too attached to how things had to happen. And the moment I let go and say, you know what, source, greater universe, or greater, whatever you want to call it, intelligence, take care of it. The how the how shifted. If I don't hear back from a client, let's say, I could follow up and follow up and follow up, or I could let go, hear back from them 6 months later, because it's the perfect timing for them and me. And I appreciate the allowance in that. And that's happened so many times. So I've really had to learn, and still learning, of not pushing and forcing, and letting
Mhm.
go more. And then the second allowance and letting go is around the actual thing that you want. And this is the hardest one.
Mhm.
And the hardest one to live by and to embody myself as well, is when you set a vision for something. To also, when we do vision creation with clients, we get very detailed. We go into the future, and we reenact through improv, role play, and storytelling, getting into our right brain hemisphere, into creative play, and into the heart, to reenact and paint a really clear picture, to create
Mhm.
a operational signature of what the person wants. And it's really easy to get attached to every detail as well. But the way to look at it is, it's a tool to use to activate the emotion. It's not a tool to grip onto and get attached to. Yes, to a degree, the concreteness of the things you will visualize, they will come true to that degree. They can. But if we're clinging on to them, and forcing them to happen exactly that way, we're missing the boat, we're missing the picture that the greater intelligence will actually bring us that, or much better. So
Oh,
in my
nice.
meditations, I always end them with that, or much better, and opening up
Yeah.
to the fact that it can be much better and much grander.
Oh, I like that. I love that. And much better. I'm going to start using that, Daria.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us what are three tips or tricks that you could share with people to start, getting more in touch with their emotions or reality? If you can narrow it down to one or two or three.
I have three core practices that I like to share, and I'll mention them briefly, and I hope that that's going to be enough for someone to try it. So the first one is the one I've already mentioned, in the morning, working with your thoughts to activate the emotion of what you want to happen. So if you're, let's say, there's a circumstance in your life that is repeating itself that you're not happy about, you can ask yourself this question: what must I believe about myself to um, feel this, to think this, to experience this? And that gives you the underlying state that you are carrying within yourself. So from that one, I don't know. Let's say you're experiencing um, rejection in some way. What must I believe? I'm not worthy. I am not important. I am second best, whatever, right? So now you write a few phrases that are the opposite of that are your best case scenario, and you make them general in a way that I am ready to feel it, or it is getting easier and easier, that will feel like they can be digestible by your nervous system and land really well and feel soothing and almost exciting.
Oh, I
You
like
start
that.
working and reading them to yourself in the morning, and at least in the morning, and then I would recommend throughout the day and in the evening as well, but in the morning that's enough.
Okay.
Then throughout the day, I would start monitoring of how these shifts are happening. What signals am I starting to receive through people, through conversations, through events? And in the evening, we are revalidating for our brain and for our nervous system what is actually happening. And we're journaling in a state of appreciation. So a state of appreciation is something I adore, love, and live by. It's my religion, I think.
Okay.
It's we all are familiar probably with appreciation journals, gratitude journals. So it's very similar, but with a bit of strategic twist is that we're focusing on how those elements that we wanted to plant in the morning are revalidating themselves throughout the day, and we're appreciating them. So we're writing out, oh, this person gave me, something little, paid attention to me, smiled at me. Oh, this person paid me a compliment. I was selected at work. Everything that revalidates that new intention, that new belief that you're reprogramming, replanting. All of that works in the emotional state.
Oh, I love that. Excellent. Those are amazing tips, Daria. Thank you so much for that. So, I wanted to now ask you about the vision cardio approach. So can you tell us a little bit about what that's all about?
Yes. So I take people on. I have a whole program that I've developed. I take people on a journey, and at the heart of that journey is we're creating your extraordinary life and tapping into your limitless self. So the program is called Extraordinary Life, Limitless Self.
Nice.
What would that look like? And we look at, there's no area in your life that's left unturned. We look at the four categories of your life. Your I call it your vocation, your self-expression. So that's your professional life, your career, and all the hats that you would wear professionally, from being a speaker to being a CEO boss to being a mentor, an investor. All of that would fall in there. The second one are your relationships, your relationship to we touch on your relationship to yourself, but it's more external relationships. Your loved one, your spouse, let's say, your family, your kids, your social circle, and your community. So how are you in relations with others? The third one is your well-being, so your health, mental, emotional, um, physical health. And in this visioning, we're creating the it's like going into the future and seeing what that will look like 3 or 5 years from now. So
Nice.
like uncovering that garden of what that looks like vividly. And then the
Hmm.
last category is the fun one. It's your finances and time freedom. So that's where you get to have all the fun. So we look at your financial goals, but also what is it that you're doing? It's not just about the money. The wealth is in everything that we're creating, in our relationships, in our health, and how we're spending our time, how we're traveling. Like why are we wanting to get all the money? And the journey starts by deep diving internally. We deep dive into ourselves and explore what's there. We go through the vision creation process, and I don't get people to go and write their vision. The folks I work with are very busy, very time limited individuals. I help unravel that out of them.
Okay.
And the key exercise is this time travel future technique methodology, where we step into the future, and through a combination of this improv, role play, and storytelling. Being a kid again, we unravel that story, and we finish with a visualization meditation that I've created to anchor the emotional vibrational signature. So that's
Nice.
the anchoring is an NLP technique, and
Hmm.
once you've felt something, it cannot be unfelt. So anything you've ever felt in the past and you want to recalibrate to it, you are free to do so, and it's very powerful. So good feelings, any emotions, we can always bring them back. They're felt across the matrix of our senses forever.
I love that. Oh, that's so good.
I love it too. It's such a powerful resource that we always have, and it's untapped, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then after the vision is created, the fun begins, because okay, we have a vision, but is our identity ready to carry that vision forward? If we were already vibing at the state of our vision, we would have what we want today. We would also be completely overwhelmed by receiving everything we want today as well.
Yep.
So, the third part is the key part, is then how can I use my thoughts, emotions, my focus, and my inspired action, and learning what inspired action is, to start calibrating and moving towards that vision.
Yeah.
And that's where the coaching really begins to work towards it. That's where the limitations start coming up, because we just kind of sifted, we've just exploded the vision, and anything that was previously blocking it, a pebble or like a brick on the way, it starts coming up, and that's the best time to start looking at it. So we
Yeah.
don't dive into limitations before. We don't need, if something's not a problem, why go there
Yeah.
until it's in the way of moving towards our vision.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Yeah, because so many people can get stuck, right? Or, they don't take action because of that limiting belief, right? So if you could just allow yourself to be open, right, for the future visioning exercise, and then, you know, engulf yourself in that feeling versus the limiting beliefs, right? And then with your help, you can help break down those limiting beliefs as they appear, right?
There's three I would say parts to this pathway moving forward. So the first one is, so now I've created this vibrational signature of what I want. And yes, it could be a vision, but it could be one goal that you have, or a dream. So
Mm-hmm,
you can really
mm-hmm.
scale this on a daily basis. Like, I have this vibrational signature of what I want, and I'm practicing. It's launched. The next one is alignment. Am I myself attuning in my radio signal to start receiving what is coming to me? The energy is always coming. The signals are always coming. I'm either seeing it or not seeing it.
Yeah.
And my alignment is how it's so simple, but it's literally how good I feel. And I'm very careful when I start talking about it, because again, it's easy to get into the paradigm of thinking I have to force myself to feel good, or I have to neglect negative emotions. It's not about that, but it is about being cognizant of your emotional hygiene, just like you brush your teeth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so the more that I'm in alignment and literally feeling well, feeling high through whatever practices will get you back into your body, whether it's running, whether it's exercise, whether it's meditation, movement in the morning, whatever it is, start your morning high, you're going to be more perceptive and receptive of what's coming. So studies show that literally, this is a positive psychology research, when we are more in the states of joy and more in the states of appreciation, we notice more, and we notice more opportunities, and hence we have a higher probability of taking steps towards those opportunities. The probability increases. If we are constantly, let's say, noticing what's not working, so there's a study looking at auditors, and if you're listening, auditors, I have nothing against you. But if we're in a practice of looking for what's not working and noticing mistakes or looking for them, we're training our brain. And in those studies, then those individuals are more susceptible to noticing what's not working and criticizing relationships at work and at home.
I can see that.
So it's interesting how our literally our we will what we're focused on, we will start noticing it and look for. And there is a mechanism in our brain here called RAS, our reticular activating system, that I could speak to more, which is literally responsible for what's coming into our conscious and what's not coming into our conscious mind. So
Ooh.
go into meltdown. So on a physical sense, and in a vibrational spiritual sense, it all fits together and makes sense. So number one is vibrational calibration, like what you want, vibrationally aligning to it, matching the signature.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is your own alignment, so you can start perceiving and taking those, saying yes to things. And number three is it's the blockages there in a way. So there is the limiting beliefs. There is literally anything that's cluttering your life. So we go through a big decluttering,
Mm,
the great decluttering,
the
emotional,
great declutter.
and mental declutter. You've probably noticed when you declutter your home, you declutter your room, there's a sense of like,
Relief. Yes. Yes.
and I've heard some great stories and experienced when I start decluttering, things just start moving. Calls come in, things change. Like it affects us at big levels. So it goes for emotional, physical decluttering and mental decluttering.
I love that.
Something's in the way, we need to move it. And if we're resisting too much, the universe is going to move it for us, and that might be a
Yeah.
lot different. And I've had that happen to me a few times.
Yeah, yeah. I'm laughing because I can totally agree. And just recently I physically wasn't well, Daria, but the moment that I started feeling better, what's the first thing that I did? I started going into each room and decluttering and organizing, and oh my god, did that like that sigh of relief, it gave me such a sense of cleanliness and purity. And I'm like, you know what, I'm letting go of all the negativity that I was going through when I was well physically, and now I'm moving into, I am so good that I am preparing my new space and cleaning and cleansing everything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's really cool how it's all connected. I love that.
And one of the most subtlest clutters is uncertainty when we're not clear. So in this whole work with what I do is getting clarity. And I've had some
Mm.
great stories. So for example, working with a client and getting clear on the kind of new clients she wants to work with in the new venture that she was launching. Before she had even advertised it, or the new venture, the next 2 days she had people inbox her on LinkedIn asking if she would provide the service.
Mm.
These stories give me goosebumps, but it's getting really clear, like, that would be great. That feels good. Not having internal resistance, we can literally start receiving things. I've had this happen to me as well. I've had a client who I worked with, and we were working on his ideal home. And he was wanting to create that in a 6 months time, that is what he was budgeting for. 6 months from now, he wanted to spend time on it. They began just curiously looking at homes, I think sooner than later. Within a month, he messaged me on WhatsApp being like, oh my God, Darya, we just found the dream home. This is way sooner than we wanted, but it has all the details that we had
Oh my god, that's so
for
cool.
our vision, like the kitchen and the trees in the backyard and like all these details.
Yeah.
He's like, I think I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Aligning.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so Daria, I know you've given us so much information already, but is there anything that we haven't talked about that you would like to touch upon for anyone listening today?
I think we touched through so many areas.
Yeah.
Um, the one thing I would like to I touched on it briefly, but I would love to come back to it, is gratitude and appreciation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And on any subject where I still have resistance, or I work with clients and they have resistance, letting myself, so this is coming back to your question on emotions, letting myself find something on that area that I can be appreciative about creates, like if you think of the bowling alley, and how do you call that, where you roll the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
it,
The
it, it
lane?
the lane, it creates the appreciation and gratitude creates the lane of pre-paving and launching into the new direction of what we want. So if it's health, and you're going through something very difficult in your health, is it 100% of you, or is it maybe 98%, or maybe it's only 60, or maybe it's 20, but mentally it's taking up this much space? Can there be another percentage of your health that you can be grateful for? Can there be something on the subject that you can be grateful for? And journaling on that as much as possible, it starts really shifting your energy. And the more that you're shifting on what is working, you'll start receiving in the health department as well. Um,
I'm gonna do that. I'm
the
gonna
same,
do that. That's something I'm gonna do.
the
Yeah.
same goes with abundance and money. I mean, first of all, abundance is about every area in our life.
Hmm.
But if we're talking money specifically, if I'm not, um, if I cannot be happy with what I have today and enjoying it, I don't know, on the beach with friends, laughing and smiling, I'm not going to be happy with $1 million in my pocket. So it's really paying attention and appreciating what is today. And the more that you're practicing it on a regular basis, you're training your mental functions to start noticing and appreciating small things throughout the day.
Yeah.
I'm aspiring to be in a state where I can move through the day and no matter what is around me, that I can appreciate it. And it's starting to happen more and more. But
Yeah.
at the very least, let's do it once a day. Let's do it once a week. Let's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
start appreciating and being grateful. It moves so powerful. It's like the greatest pill.
Yeah.
If there was a pill, it would be the appreciation pill.
I love it. No, no, absolutely. And like I said, I've recently, working through some illness and it's just lingering a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start appreciating everything else that is going well, because what you focus on expands, right? So if you're in a place of gratitude, if you're in a place of appreciation, that's going to generate more and more.
And if it's hard to appreciate something on an area that you're struggling with, I understand that. I just had COVID myself recently, and I I've used all the practices I could, and some days it was just so hard. It had this special way of dragging you down a bit. Um,
Yeah.
Finding another, just general, go general.
Yeah.
Go general.
Yeah.
General is better than specific. If specific
Yeah.
causes symptoms.
Yeah. Good. All right. Excellent. Okay. So Daria, do you have anything special coming up, or any special offers that you would like to share with us? How do
Yes.
people get in touch with you if they are ready to embark on a new journey with you?
Absolutely. So anyone who is ready just to learn more, I would be happy to offer a complimentary call, like a vision power up call to see where I can help you to begin with. So I can drop a link and you can
Yeah.
schedule it at any time.
Okay.
And that's open to anyone. And that's a 30 to 45-minute call.
Okay.
And there isn't anything specific coming up, but there are things brewing up that I'll be posting on. And where I do post is LinkedIn. So I am much more active on LinkedIn and not as active on Facebook. But if
Okay.
someone has a question, they can certainly reach out to me via Facebook as well.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So I'm going to be sharing this live on LinkedIn as well. So I'll be sharing Daria's links on how you can get in touch with her. She'll be tagged here, so it'll make it easy for you to find her both on Facebook and on
Oh,
LinkedIn.
and Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. Yes, of course.
Active on Instagram.
Okay, okay, perfect. So, Daria and I, we've met a couple of months ago, and we've constantly just been in each other's space, appreciating what we do. So this won't be the last time that you see Daria. We might be doing an Instagram live interview. We might be doing a LinkedIn live interview. The important thing is that we appreciate each other and all that we are doing for our clients and for our community. And so we both have a great appreciation for helping people achieve greatness, and their goals in their lives and in their businesses. So Daria, I want to thank you so much for your time, for all the golden nuggets that you dropped on us today, and I really look forward to working with you in the months and years to come. So thank you.
Thank you, Tina. I am also very appreciative. I'm leaving on a high, which was
Yeah.
fun, and I hope for your audience there were some takeaways that could be useful.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna close out this live, Daria, and we'll be in touch soon. But thank you, thank you, thank you so much. All right. So, for those of you who are interested in embarking on a new journey, if you're stuck, if you have a vision and you just need someone to help you along that journey, please reach out to Darya. She has so much amazing information and techniques that she could share with you. Today was just a small glimpse of all that she has to offer. But I want to tell you, stop waiting for life to be easy. Stop waiting for that perfect moment, because it's never going to come. And stop hoping that someone else is going to be there to save you, because really all you need is yourself. All you need is your own mind, and you need to find that strength within you to make a change, right? So take a chance, make a choice, and make that change, because only you can, and only you yourself can be capable of the amazing journey that you want to be on, right? People like Darya and I, we are here to help you on that journey, but in the end, everything begins with you. I heard something really cool this morning, and I want to share it with you. And so it goes like this: the man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. And basically, when you love the journey that you're on, your goals will just start happening. You'll start hitting milestones without even trying. And the side effect of you being on this amazing journey and wrapping yourself into the activities that are going to take you on this journey, the side effect is going to be you achieving your goals. Okay, so what is a journey? What does it consist of? It consists of coming up with the activities, the ideas. It's about trying something, right? It's about sucking at it, but getting up and trying again and starting over. And I'm going to say this again: when you fall in love with the journey, everything else will take care of itself. So thank you so much for listening to my interview today with Darya. Please take advantage of her free call, and I look forward to seeing you and your business grow. So enjoy the day, everyone. Bye-bye.